Hello, welcome to Love Yourself Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Danielle Mitchell. I want to talk today about the 10 red flags that you should watch out for in a relationship. Number one, love bombing. Love bombing is when you don't take the time to get to know an individual and you just rush right into it. And the person is showering you with all kinds of different gifts. They're taking you out and treating you really well. And then all of a sudden, it's cut off. They do this in the very beginning, and I'm talking about men and women. It goes both ways. This whole thing is about couples, people in general. Um, they do this to control you and to manipulate you. Love bombing is something that you really need to pay attention to. What's the rush? What's the hurry? They're like I said, they're it's a tactic of manipulation to control you. Number two, a lack of appreciation. Have you ever dated someone and you felt unappreciated? I remember when I was married years ago, we were very young to my son's father. And I remember packing his lunch for work. And I'm a romantic type of person, and once my heart's into something, it's really into it. And so I write him a little love letter, and I put it in his lunch, and I waited all day. I never got a text, a phone call, or anything. And I was waiting. It's like, well, that's strange. Maybe he didn't eat his lunch. And so when he came home from work, I said, "Did you eat your lunch today?" He said, "Yes." I was like, "Well, okay." I said, "Did you see the letter?" "Yes." I thought, wow, no thank you or appreciate you. That was so nice. Nothing like, "I'm so sorry. I was so busy today. I meant to thank you." Well, none of that. And so because of that lack of appreciation, I didn't make his lunch anymore, nor did I write him any love letters anymore. Okay? So pay attention to these red flags when you are dating someone, and somebody might say, "Well, didn't you see those red flags when you were dating?" No, I really didn't. Maybe because I was young and I was in love. He was my high school sweetheart, but I didn't see it, at that time. Sometimes you don't really know a person. Listen to this, and it's true until you marry them, until you move in together. You don't know them until you move in together. Number three, boundary crossing. This is a red flag. All these are red flags. That little red flag, that's waving in the air, woo, woo, and they cross your boundaries. You say, please don't call after 11 o'clock because, I get up early to go to work. I'm just using this as an example. And they call you 11:30, they call you at 11:45, and you're like, "I thought I told you not to call me. Why are you calling me at this time? You know I got to get up early." They're crossing boundaries. They broke the boundary. It's broken. It's never together. And what that's showing is that they don't care about your feelings or those boundaries. So if they keep breaking these boundaries, it's a red flag. It's a red flag. Number four, a lack of communication. You have to have communication in any kind of relationship. Communication is key. If the person doesn't know how to communicate and you say, "Hey, I don't like it when you do this or when you do this," and they blow off the handle, they mad, or their first response is to get defensive, that shows immaturity and passive aggressiveness. I'll get back at you for telling me that you don't like it when I do, how I chew my food. And I'm serious, people. People actually go through stuff like that. you have to communicate. Communication is key, and you have to do it without being getting mad at one another. You have to communicate. A lot of times people divorce. I said this before, with over finances and a lack of communication. You got to communicate. Why are you mad? Why are you upset? Why are you not talking to me? What's the problem? What's the issue? Why haven't you called? Why haven't you text? There's got to be a communication. Number 5, the unwillingness to compromise. In every relationship, you have to compromise. If that individual doesn't like to compromise, there's an issue. Let's say she picks going out to breakfast at a certain restaurant, and then the next time you guys go out to breakfast or lunch or dinner, she picks it again, and you're like, well, I would like to go over here to IHOP. And she just disregards your feelings, or he disregards your feelings. That's a red flag. You got to be willing to compromise, and and just share, talk and share. Number 6, gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of manipulation. It's blame shifting. You say something about them, and they blame shift. I did that because this is how you are. This is how you are. Listen, that's gaslighting. They always got to come back with something about something that you did, instead of just looking at themselves and saying, yeah, I did that. And they're unapologetic about it. They just keep blame shifting like it's you do this and you do this. I'm talking about you right now. If they don't ever take the time to listen to some things that you don't like about them, that's a red flag. It's gaslighting. It's blame shifting. They're always going to blame shift. They never take responsibility for their own actions, and they don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your thoughts whatsoever. Number 7, inconsistency. They're inconsistent with when they're going to get back with you. They're inconsistent about, hey, I'm going to call you in an hour, and you're waiting and there's no phone call. I'll be over there in an hour, and it's 2 or 3 hours. They're inconsistent. You can't. They're unreliable. You can't count on them. That's a red flag. The person that you're dating, you got to be able to count on them. Because when you're dating, that person becomes your all in all. They become like your best friend, and if they're inconsistent about something, then that's not the person you need to be marrying. Number 8, put downs. They're always putting you down. They don't have nothing nice to say. They put you down about your hair. They put you down about your makeup. They put you down about your weight. And it's always something negative. And those negative things, and if you call them out on it, then they're mad. Then it goes back to gaslighting. Then it goes back to where they dig and try to find something you did a year ago, and they don't realize that you're not that person a year ago, because you're allowing God to change your character. And a lot of people don't allow God to change their character, but it shows growth when you allow God to say, hey, it's me that stands in the need of prayer. Change me. So watch out for those put downs. And they do that to bring you down. And it's a form of emotional abuse. Number 9, controlling behavior. Controlling what you wear. Reminds me of the movie Sleeping with the Enemy. Remember, he was very abusive towards her and controlling towards her. She had to have all the canned goods in a row in the cabinet, and she had to have all the towels lined up a certain way. That's controlling behavior. Number 10, alienation. They try to alienate you from all your family and friends. Why? To dominate you, to control you. They just want you to, as a couple, they want you two to be stuck together as glue. That is a red flag, something that you need to pay attention to. So, be mindful.